welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of the Spiritual Catalyst podcast, where we talk about all things weird and woo. I'm your host, Sarah Lyons, the founder of newearthschool.com.au, and today we have the beautiful Janese with us to talk about breaking generational trauma. Now, Janese, a mother to a son and a cancer survivor, is a generational kahuna wisdom keeper. Where she comes from, a lineage of kahunas in Hawaii are known as shamans, priests, priestesses, healers who have access to ancient wisdom. She lives on the big island of Hawaii with her family and a cat. And when she isn't spending time with her family, friends, or doing energy work, she enjoys nature, beach, hikes, exploring other healing modalities, traveling, food, and attending to local social events and connecting with others. Today, she is an international speaker, being invited on several podcasts and helping other women to the road of self-mastery and to stop searching for external validation to reclaim their worth. Janese, welcome.
Hi everyone. Hi, thank you, Sarah. Hi.
You're welcome. Let's dive straight into this. I mean, breaking generational trauma, it's so big, right? It's such a big topic, and I'd love to hear, for myself and for our listeners, a bit about how you came into this work with, you've got such a beautiful lineage there with the Kahunas in Hawaii. I want to hear all about it.
Yes, this is breaking generational karma or curses is very broad and big topic. And like for myself personally, this is something that personally dear to me because growing up, like this is what I chose in this lifetime before I was born, that I was going to come down here and have this family to break some really big stuff. And and a lot of that was reclaiming the kahuna power back into my family lineage because there was a time that it was lost.
Wow.
And it was if you don't know this, the history of Hawaii, before we got colonized in the United States, we were abolished or banned by doing our practices, our culture, our music, our dance, everything. And if we were caught doing any of that, then it would be leading to punishment or death, pretty much. So through my own personal lineage as a kahuna or the shaman in my family, it was once practiced, but because of this very big thing that happened, it's put us in fear. So
wow.
yeah,
that's big. Like, I mean, I wasn't aware of that, so thank you for sharing that with us. But instantly I'm reminded of the witch trials of even thousands of years ago, where the priestesses had to go underground and create the secret mystery schools and things like that. So how recently for you have these ways been brought back into society?
well, when I first started when I was growing up, I've always been very sensitive to energy and to all of this, to the point that I would have visions and dreams. And when I went to ask my family, like, what they are, what they mean, I was actually suppressed. They were like, no, we don't talk about that. No, that is bad. No, blah, 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 because my family was still dealing with the fear.
Wow.
And so as a child, this is what I was, this is just how it was. And then later on in my life, I went on a different path because I was suppressing all of that. Mm-hmm. So I did other things in other ways until like I had my own child and I had my own spiritual awakening. Being a mom now at such a young age, like I wanted, at the time I didn't understand any of this, but what I did understand is that I wanted to do things different. I wanted to be a different mom than what I was brought and raised, growing up. So here I was, this very sensitive person, but then didn't have the outlet or support from my family because they were still stuck in that trauma, right? And then so later on in life, I found, spirit meditation, and I started healing myself. I started doing clairvoyant work. and started looking deeper of my own deeper patterns. And when that happened, I was able to break free. Because when I first started this, talking to my family was a no go. It was like hell no. Even till this day, like there's some family members like they're still completely not okay with it, and also with my own mother. But it took a lot, like healing myself and healing my trauma around my mother wound that I carried, that allowed my mom to step into her power, and now she's open to this work. Like now, like before, if I talked about this before, she was like, no, we don't do that. Like she was told when I first started doing podcasts, she was like, hell no. And then now she's like telling me like, oh, I think you should tell the family what you do because it's important what you do. Like now she's encouraging. Wow. Because she's seeing the changes, you know, and what's happening.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I'm wondering, were you able to bring back through the traditional kahuna ways, or did you have to find an elder, or did you receive the information from spirit? Like, how did this unfold for you?
I didn't seek for an elder. I'm actually my grandfather, who actually I got passed down from my mom's side. So my grandfather, my mother, my great grandmother, and of course, so my mom's lineage. They speak to me quite often, and they've passed. So there was a point where I had to ask permission to see if I could practice this, if I could bring this to the world, if I could help others and be, you know, that leader in our family, bringing that power back. And I got the permission from my grandfather. I went to his grave one day and I just sat there, and I didn't know where his grave was. It was the first time I've ever been there. Wow. And my mother was supposed to bring me, but, you know, things happened. And then finally I had to call her because I had to ask her where it was. And she was, oh, you finally are there. I was like, yeah, Grandpa told me to come see him. So I sat there and I told him, and that day was raining, like raining. And then when I got to his grave, it stopped raining. The sun came out. And then as soon as I asked him, I started talking to him, and it's like the wind picked up. And then I knew, okay, I was done. So I left, and then the rain came back. So I get a lot of information from my spirit guides, but I'm also able to help others to tap into their own guides as well. And the great thing about this, after breaking the lineage and bringing back the kahuna power, my family started asking me for help. Wow. I've trained several of my cousins to also reclaim their own power, because it is in our family, and to not be afraid of it and to embrace it and to be fully who they are. And it's been an amazing journey.
It sounds amazing. And assisting your cousins with that reclamation, did that involve like ritual and ceremony and things like that?
No. Some cousins, I've trained them as far as the programs that I teach my students, and how to, you know themselves, and teaching them tools and teaching them energetic tools, and how they can, you know, tune in more to their own self. Yeah. And recognize those and help them break free from those limits. And so one of them went through my training. Now she's become like this amazing bio tuning energy healer. And some of my other cousins, they asked me to come to their home to do a home blessings. And while I do the home blessings, I include them. I empower them to step into their power. So I do it with them. Beautiful. So I'll show them like the setup and what to do, and then I walk them through the whole process, and then I actually have them engaged in the process. Beautiful. And so that it depends on the spirit, depends on the person along the journey and what they need. Mm-hmm. So I really look at that, like really incorporate that into their journey. So everyone's different.
They are, and it's such a unique journey for everyone. And you touched on one of your clients there. I'd love to hear what sort of experiences or outcomes could a woman expect if they come to work with you to break these generational traumas?
A lot of them, they come to me at a place where they've done all the healing work, they've done the therapy work, they read the books, they're doing the things, but then something is just missing in their life. And they seem to just feel stuck. And a lot of them feel stuck as far as like really having this energetic boundaries. And they still seem to fall into the patterns no matter how much work they have done.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them feel like confident that they can actually break free from that and feel this freedom from within and this spaciousness within, that they are like jumping through hoops and getting things done in their life, things that they always wanted, they always imagined, they always like manifest. They talk about manifesting, putting it out there and all that, but they're actually doing it in the physical body and feeling this connection with their body and feeling great doing it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what kind of trauma have you seen broken? What kind of generational trauma have you been able to witness being broken for yourself or clients?
I see women finding their voice again, like finding their truth. I had women who, as I said, done a lot of their own self-healing, years of it. I had a woman that's been doing this for 5 years, and she was divorced. And, there was times where her ex-husband would just kind of get at her. You know what I mean? You got those. Everybody has one of those. And it, like that day, she felt so broken.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I stepped in and asked. At the time, she wasn't my client, she was actually my friend. And so we were just finishing yoga. We just had this amazing yoga practice, and she was feeling so great. And then she opened her phone and she got this nasty text message from her ex. And I just saw it like broken to her. And so I just asked her, "Hey, would you like me to help you with this? Is it okay? Are you open? And so I didn't want to, she was my friend. So she said yes. So I helped. So what happened was, you don't have to, what I told her was, you don't have to say these words exactly the way I said it, but you just need to feel confident in your body before you actually say, but you're going to have to respond to this. You can't just sit here. But when you're ready, then these are the words. So I just kind of helped her find the words. I even wrote it out for her, helped her. Like I told her, go stand in the mirror, say it over till your body feels confident, till you feel it completely, like you embody this. And she did. Took her a couple of days, but she did. She called me back and she said, oh my God, I felt the energy shift. And it's been over a year and he's never once did that to her ever again. Wow. Ever. She was just so shocked and amazed. She was like, oh my God, what did you do? I didn't do anything. I helped you tap into the power you already have within you. You just needed confidence and you just needed assurance that you could do it. But you had it all already in you. And so that's kind of the one thing that I help women is to recognize that you already have it in there. I just help you create the space so that you can do that.
Yeah. Powerful. So powerful. And just one more thing, Janese, I'd love to know, what's your favorite part of this whole process, the concept? What's your favorite part about breaking generational trauma?
What I love most, is seeing the changes not only in my life, but the changes in my family's life. My mom, I saw my mom change from someone who was very closed off It's like, nope, 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 this is weird. Nope, nope, nope. Listen, she tried every which way to shut it down. Even got some family members involved. But any which way, to now she's completely open, helping my son break his own trauma with his father and him reclaiming his own power and watching him like just be his own sovereign individual, sovereign independence. And I think that's something that's important for all of us here, who are here living on Earth, doing this thing called Earth. That's important, is having our own sovereign independence on a physical, emotional, mental, as well as spiritual levels.
Such powerful work, and it is a big topic. So for those listeners who are wondering how can they go deeper with this work, or where can they find you, what's the easiest way they can find you?
Easiest way is to go on my Instagram. I have a link there.
Yep.
And that link will take you to, I do womb sessions. So these are karmic womb sessions where I would guide you into your mother's womb to the moment of conception. And then I help you break free from any limits, agreements, limitation that has been passed down through your family and rebirth yourself back to you.
Oh, powerful, beautiful. I love this so much. Thank you. And I'll make sure we'll pop Janese's Instagram link in the episode details so you can go to her Instagram and check that out. Janese, thank you again so much for being on here with us today and sharing your beautiful magic.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for guys for coming on and listening. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to our beautiful listeners for listening in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving us a review, and we will see you next time. Bye.